coming up in just a few minutes. He is one of the greatest actors of all time. The late Marlon Brando starred in many classic movies, including A Streetcar Named Desire and The Godfather. But now we learn more about how Brando saw himself throughout his life in a new play called A Love Lost Life. It will debut this weekend at the Quillo Center for the Arts in downtown West Palm Beach. And joining us to talk more about the play are writer David Barnes and Kendra Adams. Thank you both so much for being here today. Now, I just have to point out to people who are like, wow, she looks like Marilyn Monroe sitting there. That's because you played the Marilyn Monroe character in the play.
That's right.
Okay, so we want to clarify that. But David, I want to go to our guests in the studio today. We have David Barnes and Kendra Adams. You are performing in a play at the Quillo Theater, and the story is based on Marlon Brando. You titled it A Love Lost Life. Why?
Well, obviously, as an actor, I was intrigued by this man. He revolutionized the profession altogether, and I thought it was appropriately titled. It was such an extraordinary story. It focuses on him as a father and his relationship with his father, and the whole murder with his son Christian in 1990.
And you said you actually were able to talk to Christian. You interviewed Christian last year as you were writing this.
Yeah, I was extending and rewriting and whatnot in 2007, actually, in December. I talked to him, and he enjoyed the script. He loved it. He approved of it, thankfully, and he wanted to work on a screenplay.
Well, what surprised you most about Marlon Brando's life? Obviously, he had lots of the tabloid talk back then in the 50s was that he had a relationship with Marilyn Monroe, and that's where Kendra comes in. You play the character of Marilyn Monroe. Tell us a little about your role in the play.
Well, it's a brief part, but she was so involved with so many of the important figures of the day, and she was, I don't want to call her the Paris Hilton of the 1950s, but I think that's a fair comparison because she was so constantly watched, and I think that had a major influence in Marlon Brando's life and how he reacted to the press that she brought his way.
And David, what do you want people to take away from this play on Marlon Brando?
He was a person like anybody else, and I think if you were to see it, you would definitely say it was, it's garbage. But
you think so? Huh?
Yeah. Well, that was his persona.
Right.
But essentially, he was like everybody else. He has virtues, he has flaws, and he did the best that he could.
Hey, David Barnes and Kendra Adams. David, you wrote the play. Tonight, the performance. You're also performing tomorrow night, and then you move on to Chicago.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like more information on A Love Lost Life, again, it runs tonight at the Quillo Theater for the Center for the Performing Arts. The box office number, 561-835-9226, and the center is located on Clematis Street in downtown West Palm Beach, and we'll be right back.